Ken Wilber claims that everyone is right. Well, do you believe that the following people are right? Read what they say and explain to what degree they are right. GC said, don't be an anti-fascist. Capitalism is the American dream. Visit a third world country for a few weeks. Why don't you visit huge swathes of America for a few weeks? You will discover the American nightmare. America is full of third world areas. Open your eyes. Stop falling for the self-serving propaganda of the super-rich elites. MC said, our president is best friends with JFK Jr. He is going after the Luciferian 13 evil families and all child slave human traffickers. Please research QAnon and the Great Awakening and go after evil Democrats who are pedophiles. Okay, you can do better than being so judgmental. So, all you integral theorists, is MC right? Well, she must be, because you say that everyone's right. Are you actually capable of doing the right thing, the moral thing, and telling people that they're wrong? We have no trouble saying that MC is wrong, and clinically insane, and we have no trouble saying that integral theory is completely wrong. JM said, hell is empty. All the demons are here. You mean hell has relocated to here? Or was this always hell? Ah said, I love what you do, but it really isn't about being guided by logic and meaning. It's about being able to ground yourself to consciousness, so that one is able to explore those dimensions that are devoid of logic and be able to create an anchor to the basic reality of consciousness. Oh dear. Typical Wilburite mystic. Actually, it's about none of the things you believe in. It's about the opposite. It's all about maximizing reason and logic in order to know everything. That's what God consciousness is. It's not about exploring dimensions that are devoid of logic. Dimensions are already a rational, logical and mathematical concept. Only totally illogical people such as yourself fight against logic and dream of being free of logic. KT said, it's all speculative. There is no earthly way of knowing where the hell you're going. Let's be real about this. Let's be real about this. You're an ignoramus, a member of the Confederacy of Dunces. You don't know what knowing means. Hence you will never know. Knowing is about irrefutable rational and logical arguments, not anything else. If you do not accept reason and logic, as indeed you don't, you regard 1 + 1 = 2 as speculation, you are irrational and illogical and everything you say is nonsense, reflecting no knowledge at all. Shay said, how many reincarnations does one have before they transcend to higher realms of consciousness? Reality is an intelligence test. The faster you learn, the sooner you attain God consciousness. God is not a drooling retard infected with faith, feelings and mysticism. God is not a love and lighter or non-dualist. God is absolute knowledge and understanding. KT said, math has its flaws as well. Says who? Is existence flawed? Mathematics is existence. Mathematics, existence, is eternal and necessary. It is infinitely stable. It cannot fail or end. Doctor said, did God evolve without you and your understanding of life? Regardless, you are life and life leads to death. We are the evolution of God. We are God becoming. There is only immanent, material, death. There is no such thing as transcendent, immaterial, death. Life, real life, transcendent life, is eternal. It's birth that leads to death, not life. Life, true life, was never born. It has always been, hence it can never die. Bodies are born, not minds. Bodies die, not minds. It's time for you to go back to school. GB said, as a Native American, I can categorically say that you are a false prophet. It's Abrahamists that talk about false prophets. You're not much of a Native American, are you? You're a poodle of your white Christian conquerors, reciting their mantras, and believing what they believe. For shame. Do you have a poster of General Custer on your wall? Do you wear a 7th Cavalry hat? JTF said, because we aren't following the Old Testament in Christianity, well, aren't supposed to. It's said to practice the New Testament. The God of the New Testament, Jesus Christ, is the Son of the God of the Old Testament, Jehovah. Jesus Christ never repudiated the Old Testament. That's why the Old Testament is in the Bible. Duh. It's amazing how many Christians don't understand Christianity at all. As soon as you put Christians under pressure, they disown the Old Testament, which is tantamount to rejecting Christianity. The Old Testament is an essential part of Christianity. That's exactly why it's in the Christian Bible. DG said, basically, the Bible is a course the Christian world is trained into. Note that Christians are trained into it and not taught by the fundamentalists that by the end they cast them in fire that comes with Jesus. True. DM said, you making yourself look bad. Stop trying to make God look bad. You are going towards the storm. Believe me, you don't know anything about the Bible and you trying to get facts out of nowhere. There's people out there studying the Bible for years. The lifetime of a human being is not enough to learn what the Bible teach you, and you talk like you know better than the people who make a life out of it. You should try to become a learner of the Bible and start a relationship with God, and you will see how God works. The truth will come to your life and finally you'll become awakened. Otherwise is your ego saying words. Yawn. Christ, these Christians are so tiresome. And so dumb. Learn grammar, retard. By the way, if a human lifetime isn't enough time to learn what the Bible teaches, how do you that its final conclusion isn't God equals the devil, or there is no God? If you're going to die before you reach the end of its teachings, it means that you will never know what its teachings actually are. Dumb ass. By the way, part 2, the same goes for scientists. Since science will never reach any conclusion, its final teachings will never be known. Ontological mathematics, by contrast, can be fully known right now. Just read our books. BC said, no science can prove God does not exist. God does not appear in the scientific paradigm. His non-existence is a foundational assumption of science. God is not observable. Science is based on observation. God can never be part of science. CLG said, you fucking changed into a ped lib and a horrible person. So, Ken Wilber and all you integralists, does CLG have part of the answer? This is a man who believes all liberals are pedophiles, i.e. he is a man who demonizes to the maximum degree anyone who doesn't share his far-right, neo-Nazi, QAnon beliefs. Is racism part of the answer? Is misogyny part of the answer? Is nationalism part of the answer? These don't seem like part of the answer at all. They seem like the problem. They seem like that which needs to be refuted and defeated, not that which has to be patted on the head and told it is right, or part right. Everyone is right? Who are you fucking kidding? KR said, how did Kurt Gödel single-handedly bring mathematics to its knees with his incompleteness theorems? He didn't. Ad wrote, nope, I totally disagree with this. What you think is so-called Christians and so-called satanic people out here, you're totally wrong. It's brainwashed to be a Stockholm syndrome. You can't be a Christian nor a satanic person under the altar or brainwashed to be a syndrome, and that's what America implemented, damn syndrome. This is all mirage out here for under-income development, under-child development, and they implement drug trafficking, sex trafficking, organ harvesting, human trafficking, gun trafficking and much more toxic environments. It's never been God nor satanic. If you'll want to be a real satanic or real Illuminati or real Scientology, you're going to have to get out of y'all's Plato delusional brains. Please remember that Plato couldn't handle abstract art. Look at Plato's picture and look at Socrates' picture. Plato's mixed him a drink, which means all of this is a killing ground, and y'all are all delusional until y'all get real and understand that I've even taught as a Christian the kids who want to be free and choose their own paths how to be real satanic people. So I hope you guys are ready for some real rituals. They are pissed off. They have not had the development. They are pissed. Don't ask my groups to be clinical responsible, clinical respectful, or clinical rational. The doc has already implemented a rehabilitation for that. I suggest all of y'all get real and comprehend that each market needs their development, and that you cannot have the frequency inside the brain with a toxic delusional brain and toxic delusional markets. The brain has to have complete development, and that's what this next generation is wanting. I suggest you'll all implement the development needed. Please remember Hebrews chapter 5 verse 14, King James Version. Yes, I taught all these kids every level under the sun. They get to choose how they exercise and know there's no human sacrificing because that is no longer in the rituals, but y'all won't read, will y'all? Well, stick with the Christians. They make total sense. Fuck those mathematicians with all their reason and logic. Oh Lord, give us insanity. NS said, 40 to 56 Joe 3:16 For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Joe 3:17 For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Is there anything worse than someone quoting the Bible to people that reject the Bible? Given that God allegedly made the world, why didn't he make it right? Why did he make it so wrong that he had to murder his son for it? She's. Ad said, if Jesus is the answer, then it's a stupid question. It sure is. NS said, Satan would never give his life for you. Only Jesus did that. Think about it. It's not rocket science nor mathematically complicated. Why do people believe such insane bullshit? Jesus didn't do shit. He was crucified by the Romans for being a terrorist, and that was the end of him. What part of that don't you get? All the rest is fantasy piled on top of what actually happened. The world is full of suckers who believe whatever crap they're told by their parents. Grow up. Think for yourself. Break free. PM said, your message seems to be falling on deaf ears. I do wonder why so many folk bother commenting when their minds are so obviously closed. Indeed. AF wrote, you say that we are a collective mind, that we are avatars in a world created by collective minds. That we must remember that we are one mind. That we must wake up. So why split in the first place? It's not a choice. It's how the system works. It's built into the system of becoming. Functional unity followed by functional division followed by reunification, rinse and repeat. This is an eternal and necessary mathematical system. It's like a sinusoidal wave, which it is based on, it goes on and on forever. You had better get used to it. This is how reality is configured. Existence can't exist in any other way. This is it. This is how it works. PG said, I believe we are here to experience as many different perspectives as possible. If the one mind didn't split, we wouldn't be here. The system gives us the experience of total unity, via being, and total division, via becoming. It gives us the full range. What could be better than that? Reality delivers the God experience, the devil experience, and the becoming God by overcoming the devil experience. That's the ultimate experience. We said, Egyptians were stupid. Nobody knows the secret to life or death. You certainly don't, you fucking retard. CK said, who is dreaming the dream? God is. And we are God. All of us put together. The whole of reality comprises God dreaming. That's it. His dream has a very characteristic shape and lasts the duration of the universe. YP said, did I freely choose to watch your video? The answer is no. Why? Because my free will forced me to. Yeah, you have no idea what free will is, do you? We come across this all the time, namely people who can't define their terms and just spout gibberish as if it had some kind of meaning. YP went on, and by the way, can we freely choose not to have free will? She's. How do these people get through the day? It's disturbing that people can be so irrational and illogical. S said, if magic does not work, quantum physics can't exist. After all, if I can be in millions of dimensions, I'd say that was magic. WTF. PY said, what if mathematics is a barrier to enlightenment, like a scientific spiritual plateau? What if you're a total ass? Mathematics is enlightenment. PY said, the limitations of mathematics and science is that if it cannot be explained with peer review and scientific acknowledgement, then it doesn't exist. Do you spend any time at all considering what you are saying? PY said, do not get me wrong, I love science and maths, they explain a lot. But, wait, you're going to tell us that you can explain much more. PY said, however, I think that our perspective of reality is governed by maths and science, so I seek a new perspective of knowing. Why? Just for the hell of it? Fancy a change? Bored now? PY said, I do think we are eternal and that new perspective is just at the tip of my tongue, or consciousness. I know it's there, I just don't yet have the words to explain it, yet. Take your time, forever. PY said, good presentation. I like Egyptian logic and mythology. Whatever. Ni said, you will face eternal death if you don't repent. Hello to you too. BA said, okay dude, I'm there, I want to know everything you know, but I have to do math. I'm not a math kind of person. Math makes me nervous and it kind of scares me a little, so you can explain the math but don't make me actually do the math. Humanity will never progress until its hatred of mathematics is overcome. JY said, we are gods. The math is secondary. Existence is mathematics. The math is primary. You are secondary. Ma said, how you say you have an equation to spirituality is how I know you're full of shit. Math only works in this dimension, dumbass. There you go. A highly evolved, spiritual person. Ma said, lol, if you try to explain existence through purely mathematical means you already fucked yourself. Lol, cause math can only work in this dimension. World lol, and existence is more than this world. You gotta love the appeal to mysterious dimensions. All the haters of reason and logic always have to carve out these bizarre places, never defined, where mathematics, science, reason and logic don't apply, allowing the likes of MA to splurge whatever insane drivel floats their boat. W4U said, if there is no size, how can a wave function exist? Waves are 0D. Haven't you been paying attention? Back to primary 1 for you. Muz said, hey, I have PhD in mathematics with a BSc in physics. I'd love to talk to you about your understanding of math and physics. I think you are very intelligent but have a gross misunderstanding of what mathematics is and how it applies to the world we live in. Go to MS's YouTube page and it features insane autistic shit, absolutely no mention of mathematics, physics or philosophy. A word to the wise, PhDs refer to PhD things, not to retarded things. Nate, you have neither a PhD in math, nor a BSc in physics. You're probably an Uber driver. It's amazing how many of the most stupid people brazenly lie about their qualifications. Because they are cripplingly insecure about their lack of qualifications and are afraid no one will take them seriously, they just invent qualifications. Of course, you have to walk the walk as well as talking the talk, and that's where all of these people meet their fate. To all the morons out there, you can't fool people with actual PhDs. Getting a PhD is fucking hard, and all PhDs have a respect for intellectualism that's entirely absent from trolls on social media, who treat all ideas with which they disagree with absolute contempt. Said, what if mathematics is just the only way our simple minds can interpret reality, and in true reality it's a language we'll never even be able to sense? In my first DMT trip, I lost all need for language and understood everything the source conveyed to me without language. It's always dangerous to base your understanding of reality on your latest drugs trip. Reality is simplicity itself, as per Occam's razor. We need to get our minds into as simple a mode as possible to understand reality. Mystics always want to believe existence is an impenetrable mystery. If reality is a language, we can definitely understand it. In fact, reality can be understood only if it's a language. The language of reality must have very specific features, including causal closure, infinite stability, maximum simplicity and universality, an analytic net result of zero, completeness and consistency, total coherence, absolute tautology, and all of these are those of ontological mathematics. You can't sense language. You can sense its semantic effects. The language itself is syntax, and you need reason, logic and conceptualization, not drugs and senses, to analyze it. Existence is made of language. You can't lose the language of existence. What you mean is that the drugs made you focus on semantic experiences.